Hey, it's Pastor Dan from Dexter Gospel Church with another Proverbs Practical. Thanks for watching today. Our verse today takes the principle of pleasure and applies it to our relationships. We're in Proverbs 25:17. It says, "Withdraw thy foot from thy neighbor's house, lest he be weary of thee and so hate thee." There's an old saying that dead fish and guests stink after 3 days. This verse isn't quite so specific in setting a time frame, but it's that same idea. It says to leave your neighbor's house before he doesn't like you anymore. Now, I think it probably carries over from the previous verse. That previous verse that we talked about in our last video is talking about something both pleasant and good for you, honey, but it warns that too much of a good thing isn't so good. Likewise, friendship, friendliness, fellowship, hospitality, these are all good things. Every one of us needs companionship to some degree, even if we're the most introverted person in the world. Sometimes even the less we feel like we want it, the more we need it. But it's possible to have too much of even a good thing. So even if you've got the sweetest personality, the most delightful disposition, or the most wonderful and healthy person to be around, it's possible that eventually even you can be too much for somebody else. The word for weary here, when it talks about him being weary of thee, it can literally be translated full, just like a person can be filled with food, with honey, with sweets. And once they've had enough, just like with the sweets, more doesn't lead to more pleasure, it leads to less. I've heard the story of a candy factory where in order to cut down on the employees munching all the candy while they work, when the employees first get to that company, the company encourages them to eat all they want. In fact, it shoves it in front of them, gives it to them as much as they can possibly handle. And after a week or two, they don't even want it anymore. They're able to work all around all that candy, and it's not even a temptation because they had too much too fast. Hey, let's be careful not to do that to our neighbors and to our friends. Now, it may be significant that it uses the term neighbor here rather than friend or brother. So maybe we can handle more time with our close friends and our family. It may be that deep pre-existing relationships expand or extend the amount of time that we can spend together before it's too much. And I don't think this is saying that you have to set a timer on how much time you spend with each of your kids or your parents or your siblings or other people that you share the same house with. But if you are sharing a house with someone living in the same place, the principle of the verse may still hold that too much of a good thing might not be so good anymore. People need their space sometimes. Even though all of those connections of friendship and fellowship are good in themselves, they don't override the need for rest and seclusion, at least on occasion. Even Jesus went up into a mountaintop apart to pray. And in the Garden of Gethsemane, though he took the disciples to pray with him, he went a little ways off alone to interact with God the Father on his own. Different people need different amounts of space, depending on how introverted or extroverted they are, but all of us need companionship to some degree, and all of us need seclusion to some degree. So Solomon warns his son not to press his company on those who might just be getting a little tired of it. No one is sweet enough that random people want them in their house all the time. Eventually, we can have our fill of anyone's company, and to remain beyond that leads not to more acceptance, but to rejection or discomfort. I hope this video is a help to you. If it is, give it a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Until next time, I hope you stay well and visit with moderation.